Hello there, Cancer. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of January 6th through the 12th. And we are doing a little different format this week than we have before. I decided since I'm doing the live dailies so often, it's probably a good thing to change up the format on the weeklies. So we're not just doing the daily card. By the way, I do offer private readings to those of you who are interested. You can find out how to get one of those on the website listed at the bottom of this screen. Okay, Cancer, here's what we have going on for you this week. The first thing that I'm looking at is your environment. Your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it's home, sometimes it's work or school. And what I'm seeing here is that there are, I think that you share your environment with other people, and I think that not everybody is really carrying the load. So not everybody is helping with cleanup, not everybody is helping with cooking or shopping. You know, tasks are not evenly distributed here, and it feels like, it kind of even feels like maybe even with you, you're not carrying part of the load either. So it looks like maybe in the environment, sort of everybody's kind of letting things slide. So things may be starting to look a little bit out of control. They may be starting to get cluttered. If we're talking about an environment at work, maybe not all the tasks or responsibilities are getting accomplished. So things are not their normal balanced self like they would be for you Cancers generally. The next thing that I have coming up talks to me about your subconscious leanings. These are kind of the background programs of our mind. Every once in a while they show up in the consciousness, but usually they are, usually they're just kind of working in the background and just show up and then disappear again really quickly. It looks to me like you were feeling like you had a lot of options about things that you could do to make your life better, and you're feeling like those options are really narrowing down. And I almost have the sense that there's a little bit of a trap, like there's a little bit of I don't know that you necessarily chose for all these options to be narrowed down, but you're in some kind of circumstance where you feel like your options have been narrowed down by something that is outside of your control, or maybe it's not outside of your control, but maybe you didn't stand up to whatever this is. So anyway, you're feeling a little bit trapped, either by your own words or by a situation as far as options to make your life better. Now, looking at learning style and communication style for you Cancers this week, what I have coming up for learning style is really, this has to do with money. You are just trying to figure out what to do about money and trying to handle, okay, let's get everything balanced as far as budget. Let's get everything covered as far as financially. And then as far as communication style this week, I think that you are communicating, I think you're communicating quite a lot. Are the words that Spirit is giving me as I look at this picture, that you're communicating quite a lot, and that you are saying fresh new things every time that you communicate. So it's not like I don't see you repeating yourself a lot, but there is a lot of communication going on. Okay, and then, or at least there's a lot of communication coming from you, if nothing else. There may be two-way, but definitely there's a lot coming from you. Now, looking at your work. All right, so what I have coming up for work is either you work out of your home or you work in other people's home, but your work has to do with home or homes. All right, so it either involves being at home a lot or being in other people's homes. It could be that you're off work and that you're home this week. Maybe you're on vacation. All right, your inner work really has to do with, how do you feel at home in the situation that you are right now? How do you feel comfortable enough to feel at home? It feels like you have some kind of, you have a situation in your life where it just doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't feel quite right. It just doesn't exactly feel like a good fit. And so your inner work is, how do I get to this place where I feel like I am in a good fit, that the situation feels like home, that it feels like a good fit? Is this something that I can change in my environment as far as a thing or things? Do I just need paint that is more attuned to my tastes? Do I need decorations that are better? Is there somebody in my environment that's making it not feel very comfortable? Do I have to figure out what to do about that? How do I adjust things? Your inner work is, how do I adjust things to feel at home? At home. Okay? And then the next thing that we're looking at talks to me about that part of you that's being grown or expanded this week. It's interesting because it ties directly into work. I don't see you getting a lot of work done this week. Okay, so if you normally would be clocking in, I don't see you clocking in a whole lot. If this is something where you had planned a lot of work around the house, I don't see that getting done. I just don't see a lot getting done there. And I'm starting to see that we have a real theme here. And I'm wondering if you're not a little bit depressed or discombobulated because, nobody's really picking up the responsibilities in the environment to maintain it appropriately. There's something in the home that doesn't make it feel like home. There's this not getting any work done around the house or otherwise. So there's this whole sense of things are kind of falling apart at home is the theme that I'm getting for a lot of you. Now for some of you, a couple of these may or may not apply to home. Some of these may apply to work that is not in the house. But for most of you, this is a strong theme of things are kind of coming unraveled at home. All right? Let's see if we can see a little bit more for clues about that as we go through the rest of this spread. So, things that you stand for. Let's look at that. Something that you stand for. It looks like there's a person that you stand for. This is somebody who is very outgoing, very social. They like to travel a lot. They like to be out and about doing things. And so it looks like, this is somebody that you stand for. You may be out and about traveling with them. Maybe this is why things aren't getting done at home. Maybe this is why work isn't getting accomplished the way it needs to be accomplished, is because there's a lot of distraction with this traveling. And it looks like, you're very happy to be doing this traveling and getting out and about. Okay? And then next we have how other people perceive you. They see you as somebody who is very spiritually minded. They see you as somebody who knows how to work with energy and knows things probably. Okay? So then the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about something that is going on once we get more towards the end of the week. And this is kind of a key, maybe a turning point for the week. And what I'm seeing here is that there's not, where before there was a lot of feelings for somebody, there was a lot of romantic action. Once we get towards the end of the week, there's not so much of that romantic action anymore. There's not so much of that feelings anymore. In fact, you may be feeling kind of pessimistic about either the relationship that you're in or romantic relationships in general or people in general. Okay? So kind of a pessimistic feeling about either romantic relationships or people. Now, as you're going through this sort of pessimistic space, there are things that, this actually makes you happy. I've got the happiness card coming up right next to this. This is telling me that as you go through this pessimistic space, you're actually finding some kind of release where you're starting to feel happy. So as you're, maybe you're pessimistic about romance for a good reason. Maybe there's something that is sort of going wrong with the romance. And so as you sort of distance yourself from that, and as you start feeling less feelings towards that, then you start finding your happiness in that release from that. The card across from that tells me that you are moving away from some kind of negative influence, and that would totally add up with why you're feeling happy now. Because if you have a negative influence that you're moving away, whether that negative influence was a romantic partner or just people you weren't getting along with in general, either way, as you're moving away from something that was negative, that was holding you back and holding you down, yeah, you're going to be more happy. Okay, so we see that playing out exactly the way that you would expect it to. And then once we get towards the end of the week, is this a person you're interacting with, or is this an action you're taking? Once we get towards the end of the week, what I see going on is you are taking charge of your finances. You are, it feels to me like maybe somebody else sort of had their fingers in your wallet, and you're basically saying, no, no, no more. I've got a budget. I need to stick with my budget. You need to take care of your stuff over here. I'll take care of my stuff over here. Okay? And I see you taking control of your finances and your resources again. All right? So that's what I've got for you, Cancers. I hope that you find it helpful. If you did, then please like this video and share it. That does help the channel, and I do appreciate that very much. Also, those of you who would like to schedule a private reading with me, all my contact information is on the website at the bottom of this screen, and I would be honored to read for you. And the rest of you, I will see you back on the next video. Peace out.